All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and start a game. And it'll take a moment for it to come up because it has to generate the world and get everything ready. And again, because it's Navezgane and I know where things are a little bit in here, I can go in and pretty much in just a few minutes I should know where I'm at on the world. I do have a printed out map that I use that allows me to kind of figure out, where I'm at in the Navezgane world. Where I've come up is not the best kind of place. I have come up in kind of a wasteland area. The tutorial is fairly basic, but it's a new addition to the game from what I understand, and I highly recommend that you go through these quests that come up in the beginning. And as it says, basic survival is your active quest. The quest status is displayed on the objective tracker in the top right of the screen. For more information on quests, access your inventory and navigate to the quest menu. I spent a lot of time in this game the first time trying to figure out how to get plant fibers. And when I did figure it out, it was just, I couldn't believe how ridiculous it was that I hadn't figured it out. Left mouse click is the bash. You're going to hit things with a left mouse click. Right mouse click if you're holding a weapon. It can do different things. It can zoom in, and you'll do that. The first thing you want to do is go out and basically you use your left mouse button to punch grass. And you'll see I've already got the plant fibers that I need for this. The next thing I need is wood, and then I need stone. So I'm going to come over here. I hit that, and that got me one wood. And this other one over here is going to be the second wood I need. For the stones that I need, you can go around and you can find small stones laying on the ground. Another thing you can do is you can hit rock. And if you hit rock enough, you'll end up getting stones out of it. Now, it's very slow if you're using your fist like this, but that's why they have you craft the stone axe first. As soon as we get the stone axe, that's going to go a whole lot faster. So, just a moment, I should have another small stone in my inventory. Come on, there we go. Okay, so now I can press the tab key, and it brings up my inventory. I click on stone axe, and I click on craft. And it only takes about 3 or 4 seconds, and you end up with a stone axe in your inventory. Now, as you can see, it's a level 1 stone axe, and that is awful. But in the beginning, it is a lifesaver because a moment ago, all I had was my hand. So I'll get out of that, and I need to punch some more grass because now it wants me to make some clothes. It wants me to make some armor. And to do that, I need a lot more grass. So we're going to go across here, we're going to punch grass. With the stone axe, we're hitting grass. We're getting grass. Grass, grass, grass. And there's a whole bunch of it down here. Alright. And here's the small stones I was talking about. You can pick those up using the E key. This is PC. So, I have seen this played on the Xbox. My daughter has it for Xbox. I have watched her play, and I do not like the interface on the Xbox. I much prefer the PC. Alright, so I have the parts. It tells me to create all these. I go to the clothing tab here, and it tells me to create some pants. So I'm going to create the pants. It tells me to create a shirt. I create the shirt. The hood, craft it. The shoes, craft it. And the last thing is the glove, and craft it. So we'll let these go ahead and go. And while they're doing it, I'll go ahead and hit a few more of these grass, but I'm going to need some more later on anyway. Because I'm going to be making a whole lot of these stone axes tonight, just to kind of gen up my tool making ability. I'm also going to need wood, and I need stones, so might as well go ahead and get some of them. And you'll notice that my level 1 axe, if you look down there in the bottom toolbar, you'll see that it's already below half health. So it'll be gone soon. And that's kind of another reason why I'm going ahead and getting these right now, because I'm going to have to make a stone axe again, and I don't want to have to hit this stuff with my hand to get it. So I'm going ahead and getting some stuff so I don't have to worry about it. When I need a new stone axe, I can just create it. Alright, now it's telling me that the next part of the tutorial is that I need to wear the items that I just created. So I'll go in here. If I click on the character up here, and now I can hold down the shift key and left click to put these on my personage. And now I have finished that section. You can also click on it and click on wear up here, but it's just a couple extra mouse clicks and it's easier to do it the way I just did. Alright, so it tells me to craft a wooden club. I already have the wood because I knocked down that tree a minute ago. And I'm going to go ahead and go over here and finish hitting this until this first stone axe is gone, and I'm going to need another stone axe. And once I've done that, then I'll go ahead and create the stone axe, and I'll create the club at that point in time. Alright. And we're going to go over here and get some bricks until the stone axe breaks. There it goes. Alright, so we're going to tab again. We're going to go to Tools, and I'm going to create another stone axe. And I'm going to go over to the Ammo Weapons, click on Wooden Club, and I'm going to craft a wooden club. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this bottle of water up in my inventory, get it out of my tool belt. I don't need it down in my tool belt right now. I'm going to put my club down here. You'll notice it's a level 1. I highly recommend that you do not try and kill zombies with a level 1 club. You will die. Most likely. If you're good and you're a first-person shooter player and been playing a while, you might get away with it, but probably not. I'm going to come down here and loot a couple of these. He has some feathers. Good. I'm going to need those in a few minutes. Check this backpack. And the R key, as you can see right here, the R key will let you take everything out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit R and get all of that. I'm going to check the car. Also, in the beginning of the game, they are nice in the beginning of the game. They do put you in an area with no zombies spawning in this area yet. Now, as you move up, they will spawn more. In this one, you'll see there's rotting flesh in there. We don't want that. You can't do anything with it. It's useless. Alright, so it's telling me the next thing I need to do is I need to craft arrows, 2 of them, and I need to craft a wooden bow. The way that you get feathers for arrows is that you move around and you look for birds' nests on the ground, or you chase down a chicken like I'm going to try and do right now. Missed him. Alright, got the chicken. This is awesome. I'm getting feathers off of him. This is great. And I should get some meat off of him too. Let me go ahead and check this cooler. Alright, look at that. At the beginning of the game, just get everything. I mean, there's really no reason not to. Just pick up everything you can at the beginning of the game. And then as you go along, here's one of the bird's nests. They're hard to see on the land. That's why I missed this one because I was chasing the chicken. But again, as you go around, you're going to want more and more feathers because the bow is your friend. Especially in the early game, the bow is your best friend. Because you want to take zombies out from a distance. You don't want to get up close and personal. Now, once you get further in the game, you've got some better melee weapons. Then you might go ahead and take out a zombie or take on a zombie with a melee weapon. I do not recommend it in the first part of the game, though. And you're probably wondering why I'm going around and I'm still punching grass, even though I don't really need any right now. Tonight, I'm going to be trying to level up my weapon skills and my tool-making skills, and I'm going to need all of these resources so that I can just sit there in the dark and craft all night long while I'm waiting for the zombies to go away and the sunlight to break and me be able to get out and go around and loot again. Now we do have a nice building over here that we're probably going to be using. That house right there to stay in tonight. No reason not to. For the moment, though, I'm going to go ahead and craft some arrows. And it says I can craft 30 of them because I've got 30 rocks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, if you'll look to the right, it says craft a wooden bow, and it says craft arrows. I recommend that you craft the arrows first. The reason being is that crafting the arrows is going to get your skill in weapons making up. And so when you craft the bow, it's going to be a better quality bow than it would be if you crafted the bow first and then you crafted the arrows. It doesn't work the other way around. Crafting the bow does not make the arrows that you craft any better. The arrows are always going to be the same level until you get to where you can put iron tips on them or you can put steel tips on them. So just go ahead and craft the arrows first. Once the arrows have finished crafting, or even before they finish, you can still queue up the bow. So go ahead and craft the bow there. And now let's go ahead and while those are finishing up, we're going to go and continue to loot around this building and see what we can find. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go in the house. This is where we're going to stay tonight, most likely. Probably what I'm going to do is I will build a way up to that upper portion up there. And that's probably where we'll be hanging out tonight, is up top. And one way to do that is to build some crates in the game. I'm going to go to the wood, and then I'm going to just type in frame and wood frame. And then I'm going to build about 10 wood frames. That should be enough. And you'll notice that it's going to have me doing some of these anyway. So I might as well use them for a purpose instead of just creating them and leaving them there for no reason. So I'm going to move them down into my tool belt. And I'm going to choose 6, which gets me to that. And I'm going to put one here, jump up on top of it. I'm going to jump in place, and then jump in place another one. So yeah, up here is where I'm going to stay tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here and start getting this ready. We'll go out and loot afterwards. We'll go out and loot some stuff tonight, or before nightfall. But we're going to go ahead and get our base for the night fixed up. We're going to put a couple of frames in here just to kind of close it up. We're going to switch back to our axe, and if you right-click on the wood frame, it upgrades it. Now it uses 10 wood out of my inventory for each one of these. Okay, so those are upgraded now, and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these just because I'm going to use this whole area up here tonight. And I may use this base for a few nights. We'll see. And I may not. I may just come up here tonight and sit down and wait out the night. All right, so it tells me to craft a bedroll. That was another reason for picking up all these plant fibers a while ago. I'm going to go ahead and click on the campfire basics over here, choose bedroll, and craft it. Now, wherever you place your bedroll is where you're going to respawn if you die. So you want your bedroll to be in a place that's relatively safe so that when you respawn there, you'll be okay. Now, we are not going to be staying in this house for more than a couple of nights. We're gonna stay here for a couple of nights, and then we're going to book it and find a place that's easier for us to upgrade and defend. But in the meantime, let's see here. All right, so the left mouse button, no, it's not going to let me go there because I'm standing there. The left mouse button turns it, the right mouse button places the item that you have in your hand. So I'm going to go back to my thing here, and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these. All right, so the house is a little bit upgraded. I'm going to probably just use the wood frames to get up here. There's no sense building a ladder right now, I don't think. I have to build the campfire. So do I have any? Oh, got to go get some stone. So might as well go out. Before I do, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the door. That way I got a little bit of defense there. It's getting later on in the game, so I got to keep my eye out in case there are some zombies that come over this way, and they will eventually get over in this area. So you just kind of got to keep your eye out for them. Just look in the distance. You will hear them most times before you see them. You know, you may see them off in the distance, but most times you're going to hear the zombies coming nearby, and you got a chance to run or shoot at them with your bow or defend yourself in that fashion. But it will, you know, it just depends on whether you're listening and paying attention or not. In this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and build myself another stone axe before I go looking into getting a campfire. Can I build? Yeah, I can build a campfire already. I need 8 and I have 10. So we'll go ahead and tell it to do that. Move this down here. Let's go ahead and move our bow down into our inventory. Another trick or tip here that I'm going to tell you is make sure that once you've created the bow, anytime you've created a new bow or put a new bow in your tool belt, make sure that you switch to it and press R for reload. Because there's nothing worse than pressing the button to trying to press the button to shoot at a zombie and you don't have your bow loaded. So you can hold down the right mouse button to zoom, okay, and then you draw your bow with the left mouse button, and once it's fully drawn, you let go and it'll shoot at whatever you're zoomed and pointing at. You don't have to zoom in, but it does help with your accuracy, it seems like. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the stone axe. I'm going to go ahead and go back into the building. Go ahead and take that out of the way. Go back in the building here. And jump back up on here. Go back to 6. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and place a campfire. I'm going to place it over here. Good place for it. Alright, so we've finished that portion. And it tells me that I have completed the quest chain. It says you've earned a skill point for completing the basic survival quest. Spend it by accessing your inventory, navigating to the skills menu, and highlight the desired skill or perk and purchase it. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to save that skill point for when we need it later. I don't really need to use that skill point for anything right now. Now, just because I've played the game a few times and I've seen some tips and tricks in other areas, I know that underneath this board, underneath that metal plate right there, there's either a purse or a backpack that I can loot that sometimes has some pretty good loot in it. And unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's there. Yep. See? Search weather backpack. So it didn't really have anything great in it, but it does have a bottle of water, and that can come in real handy in the beginning of the game. Also, you'll notice that when I crouch down, my pointer cursor turned to like a thin eyeball with undetected over it. That just tells you that no zombies in your area know you're there. They haven't detected you, so you're okay. That can be used anywhere. I mean, I can drop down right here, and it tells me I'm undetected. It will go to, I forget what the second one is, but if it goes to a large eyeball and says hunted, you need to look because there's a zombie about to get on your case. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to gather resources for the night. And I do that by chopping down trees, getting rocks, looting birds' nests, getting more grass, just anything I can to make lots of stuff for me, so that through the night I can sit and craft things and get my skills up on those different items, so that the items that I create in the morning will be much better. Now, a lot of times what you can do is just kind of circle, like you're chopping a tree like I am now, just kind of circle around it, and that way you can kind of look off in the distance and see if there are any zombies coming. Oh, and on that note, real quick, I'm going to move out here to the road, and I'm kind of looking down the road, and you'll see that I have a wide field of vision. If you go to your options and you go to video, you've got field of view. You can run this all the way up to 90, and it gives you a much bigger field of view in front of you, so you can see more area, and it gives you a much better chance of being able to spot zombies. Now, it does have an effect on how much. It has an effect on your video card. So if you run it up too high, it can definitely be an issue, especially with the view distance. The one up above it, it says you can't change it right now while the game's running. The further out you go with that, the more work your graphics card has to do, your computer has to do, and the game may get a little bit choppy. You may have to move it back down again. I definitely wouldn't recommend that it be high on Horde Night, because Horde Night can get a little laggy, especially when you start getting around the 21 and 28 day hordes. The bigger the hordes that come in, the more items that are on screen, then obviously the more work that your graphics card and your computer are having to do. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult to play when it starts to get a little choppy and laggy like that. It doesn't happen very often. It usually only happens on Horde Night, and even then it's not bad. Just be aware of it. I'm sure they're working on it to make it even better. So we're gonna give the developers a benefit of a doubt on that and assume that they're working to get the kinks out of that and make it a little more smooth. All right. On that note, I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back. I'm going to go get me something to drink. My throat's getting a little dry. I'm not used to talking this much, so bear with me. Okay, I'm back. Oh. Okay, now I'm back. That's much better. All right. Okay, so again, what we're doing right now is we're going to be gathering resources, just trying to make it where we've got lots of stuff to work with tonight. We want to be able to make tons and tons and tons of axes and tons and tons and tons of clubs tonight, because that's going to make it where we can level up and have much better equipment come morning. And I'm going to kind of work my way over towards this this area right over here and kind of loot the stuff that's around it. I know I got the ice chest a while ago, but go ahead and craft a couple of these. Okay. We'll get some stone. We'll get plenty of grass. We're going to need lots of wood. Obviously, as we get better tools a little further in the game, it's going to make this a whole lot faster process. Right now, it's very time-consuming. But hey, that's part of the game. Also, I'm probably going to just run down the road a little bit here in a moment, just to kind of get down the road and see what's around me. That'll allow me to look at my Navezgane map and kind of judge where I'm at on the map and where we want to go come morning. Because come morning, we're probably going to move away from this area, see if we can go find a better place, a place we can start to build up, and a place that we can defend. A place that we can spend the night. We don't have to worry about the zombies. We can do things throughout the night. We can create things. Just make it a much easier place to work with. The area that I'm in, it does have some good points about it, but it also has, it's really kind of a desolate area. It's better if you can find a better area. Ooh, that was a good one. Meat stew. And it looked like another water. Sometimes food and water at the beginning of the game can definitely be a big deal. So anytime you can loot and find food and water at the beginning, it is a good thing. A little bit about the zombies in this game. During the day, they do shamble. They're pretty easy to run from. If they do get close to you and they do hit you, they can stun you. And if they stun you, oh look, there's one. We have a customer. All right, we're going to see if we can take him out. I also highly recommend you always look around behind you before you start attacking one, because there's some that like to sneak up on you. All right. Boot to the head. Ba ba. Boot to the head. Ba ba. Run. All right. Ooh. Shot through the head and you're to blame. You attacked me. You're stupid. All right. Now you see I have the zombie corpse here, and I am going to beat it up with my stone axe. There is a method to my madness and a reason why I did that. Now you see the zombies are starting to come into the area now. It knows that I've already had enough time to kind of get my bearings and to get a few things done. So it's like, okay, Bubba, your time's up. We're going to have to start, you're going to have to start defending yourself. So anyway, the reason I did that to that zombie just a moment ago, I'm going to throw away the rotting flesh, but I got a bone, and if I click on recipes, you'll see I can make a bone shiv. And the bone shiv is good for taking apart animals that you have killed and getting the meat and the hides from them. So make sure that you make yourself a bone shiv as soon as possible. And I'm just kind of looking around a little bit just to see if I can figure out where I'm at yet. All right, I'm going to run up the road a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm still going to get things as I go up the road, but I'm also going to just kind of move up the road, see if I can get an idea as to where I am on the map. So we're gonna kind of do this a little bit, just kind of move around, see what we can find.